Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about what is a community artist and how can you make a living as a community artist. So I am Kex and I quit my job, my probation officer job 11 years ago, and I started as a community artist and I've been grant funded every year ever since. Now I help other people get their grant funding and live that same dream. So I've got tons of knowledge and experience on this topic. So in this video, I'm going to go over what a community artist is, give you some examples of projects that are grant fundable that you can do, tell you how you can pay yourself, and also how you can develop yourself as an artist and use this to develop your portfolio. So this is a really exciting video. I hope it helps. If it does, please hit the subscribe button for everything to do with community interest companies, grant funding, being an individual community artist, and also social enterprises. So I cover all of that stuff on this channel regularly. I've got tons of information here, as you can see. If you'd like to know more, then please hit the link in this description, because I've actually got a free masterclass coming up September the 12th, which you can join. And this is all about how to become a community artist and get grant funding and live that dream. If you want to know more about community interest companies, I've also got my CIC tribe, setup packages and membership as well. So I'm going to put both the links in this description. Now, that aside, let's get into it. So what is a community artist? So a community artist is somebody who is doing arts projects in the community. That could be doing art workshops that are free for the community to come to, or they may be paid as well. They could be covered by grant funding or privately financed. But yes, so some kind of community arts workshop where the community could come and learn skills and participate and do like groups. So there's that, and then there is also if you're going to do like a community exhibition or another kind of activity, like you might want to do like a photography walk or some kind of street art project, mural in the community. So all of these are different examples of community projects, community arts projects. So they have to have some kind of community benefit, essentially. So you can be an artist yourself, or you can hire other artists to do this. So let me give you some examples of fantastic community arts projects. So I'm going to start with my own experience and tell you some of the projects that I have run. So when I left my job as a probation officer, I started because I had been doing something called rap therapy with offenders in prison, helping them write rap lyrics as a way to express themselves. I called this rap therapy, and that's how I started. So when I left probation, I started a youth music studio where I would do the photography and videography. I set up the studio. It was a peer-to-peer music studio, got producers in and stuff like that. And the young people came and they, did all of their music, and they gained portfolios and developed as artists and all of that. They also gained other art skills and media skills while they were there. Now, that was one example. And then I went on from that to do various other projects. Because I was a photographer as well, I did community photography walks, which was a fantastic project. Basically, I'd get together with the community and we'd just go out on these walks, take photos. We did exhibitions with the photos, and it was a really good thing for mental health and just bringing people together in the community. On top of that, I've done various different youth art projects using various different art skills, whether it be paint, printmaking, street art, where I've done youth workshops, getting people in, engaging them in art, in activities, free activities. And again, often that ended in exhibitions or in street art murals in the community, and sort of helping improve spaces like dingy alleyways and stuff like that by doing lovely street art murals. So I have probably done all different types of art mediums. Now, I am not somebody who has, apart from the photography, I did do that in college, but other than that, I didn't do, go to university to study art or anything like that. So you don't need to have any kind of art experience as such. You could literally be a community artist as an amateur artist, somebody who wants to learn and develop their art skills. So don't think you need to go in this as an expert. You absolutely don't. And one of the benefits of doing the grant projects is you can actually factor in developing yourself, sending yourself on courses and actually developing your art skills. You can put the cost of that into your budget so you can develop yourself there. Also, you can hire in other artists to do various different workshops. You don't have to do all of the workshops and all of the art yourself. In fact, they prefer it if you're also collaborating and hiring other artists as well. So yeah, so don't think you need to be an expert at all. So let me just go over some of the most popular community art projects that I see at the moment. So as I've said, as with some of mine, I think music and performance. So doing some kind of youth or peer-to-peer music studio, but definitely building in performance. Performance, they absolutely love performance. It brings people together. It gives them extra skills. It puts on things in shows and stuff in the community. So anything to do with performance is really popular. Theatre is great as well as dancing, anything theatrical and creative, again in performance there. Then also any kind of sort of like skills sharing art workshops, and that could be any kind of art. What they don't like is craft, so they don't like craft stuff, so it needs to be a proper art discipline. So it could be ceramics, it could be painting, sip and paint type things, like all that type of stuff. So workshops where you're sharing and you're giving new skills. Just a tip, they love it if they don't want someone to just come, engage and go. They want them to be able to engage with the program or have something to go away with, which is lasting. So maybe think about building in some art packs for them to take away. So they do your session, then they buy some art packs from you, and then they go away. So you can get all that funded so that they get everything for free. They get the pack for free, they get the workshop for free. So that would all be covered under the grant funding, which would all come to you. So workshops, that's the great one, any kind. Then, as I said, like activities out in the community, like street art murals or like my photography walks. But you could do more than that. You could do festivals. You could do, again, performances outside. So think about activities that put on a bit of a show, that get people together outside as well. There's also something called like forest art as well. So forest art using recycled materials as art as well. So you could do a beach clean and then make some art sculptures out of it. So stuff like that really gets people together, gets them creative with natural resources as well. And then also, I think anything that sort of develops the individual artists and gives them an opportunity to, exhibit in exhibitions. So you could do something that develops the artists and then accumulate that into a curated exhibition. And that could be something really simple. Like I did an exhibition in my local library, for instance. That was great. It was great for the library because they got all that free stuff. You could do it in doctors' waiting rooms, in hospitals. So you notice in hospitals they have a lot of artwork up. So don't think you have to necessarily do a gallery, but if you can, that would be great and it would look amazing on your portfolio. So that gives you an idea of the different types of projects. Next, I'm going to get on to how you pay yourself and how you make an income from this. So just to whip over this, and I have got other videos on this channel covering this type of topic, but if you are an individual artist, you would be setting yourself up as self-employed, or you could set yourself up as an LTD as well, okay? So you would be applying for the grant funding and you would be paying yourself as the lead artist on that. Project coordinator, lead artist, those are the sorts of titles you would use. So as a lead artist, project manager, project coordinator, what would you expect to be paid? So you should be paying yourself as a freelancer because you're not employed. So a freelancer should be paying themselves £600 a day. £600 a day is like a 50 grand a year sort of salary. So that isn't the highest. So it could be you go above that if you're more experienced. But I would say 50 grand is probably about standard if you've got about 3 years experience in running projects and as an artist. If you are brand new out the gates, say you are fresh out of university, for instance, so if you're earlier in your career, then you could pay yourself a bit less. But to be honest, nobody's really particularly checking. So personally, I think you should just go in at 600. I think that's fair for the type of project you're going to be delivering. I think 600 a day is reasonable. So 600 as a freelancer, that's what you should be paying yourself. Also factor in that you'll be adding to that your materials and all sorts of other things. But remember, out of that 600 you pay yourself, you've got your own development in there as well and your own sort of self-employed costs. So when we think about a self-employed person taking home 600, they've still got other costs as part of that business to develop themselves. They might be hiring an accountant, they may be getting some, mentoring or paying their own website costs or whatever their other overheads are. So, it's never the case that you completely pocket all of the money that you earn as a self-employed person because you'll of course be reinvesting some. But as I said, you shouldn't be taking out of that any other project costs. That should go on the rest of the project budget. So the project art materials, the project venue hire, all of that goes on top. So that is the kind of idea really of what you should be charging yourself. So really a simple project for say a year, say you've got an exhibition and you've done like 12 workshops and you've done some artist development time as well in that. Absolutely 30,000. That's completely reasonable and they will award it for that. So don't think you have to deliver the world for that kind of money. You absolutely don't. And the last topic I'm going to cover will be about your artist development. So it's not all just about paying ourselves, it's also about artist development. So if you are a community artist, the fantastic thing is you're going to be doing these projects, and that is amazing for your portfolio. So you're developing art, you're developing your skills, you're building your portfolio. So that is artist development, and that is fantastic. It is mind-blowing what you can achieve once you do these grant projects. To have Arts Council England on your website, funded by Arts Council England, on your exhibition, on some of the artwork that you're making, it's incredible to have that name on there, and other grant funders as well. It just puts you in a whole nother league, a whole nother level. It is absolutely fantastic opportunity, and I really can't rate it enough. I mean, I've exhibited in big exhibition centres, and it's just, those opportunities are very difficult to get if you're just an employed person. But if you're a freelance artist, as a community artist, getting grant funding, the world is your oyster. It just opens up. You can even do foreign projects where you go abroad and and soak in cultures and arts abroad. Maybe you make some of your art abroad, influenced by artists abroad or whatever, and then you bring it back to the UK and you do an exhibition. The scope of it to spread to international audiences, to grow as an artist, it's just incredible. It really is. You absolutely will not regret it. And some of you may be thinking, well, I'm too scared to give up my day job. And it's okay, fine, do it part-time, do it as a side hustle thing to begin with. But just bear in mind that as with everything, you're going to need to really focus on something to be able to get good at it and to really project yourself. Otherwise, your day job is just going to get in the way. So yes, you can do this, with your day job, but I don't recommend it. I recommend that, okay, you might try it, but you're going to need to get out of that day job and just be no, I've got to make the transition. That's what I did. And I made it. It was a struggle in the beginning, but I made it. So you absolutely can. So I hope that helps. And just as I said, I have got my free masterclass on September the 12th at 8 p.m. So do sign up. That is in the description. And in that, I'm going to be showing you inside application forms for the Arts Council and showing you how they score. And I'm also going to be talking about loads of other ways to make money in terms of gaining contracts, extra income resources, and all of that stuff, and how to just structure yourself and give you a pack and a bundle to go away with, so you know how to basically hit the ground running. And if you're watching this video after that, the September 12th date, don't worry, I'll have another event soon. So just go and check my website for the next date.